hard to be good in these days, but here we are. Next one more, huh? No. Yeah, I can tweet.
Go. Thanks.
It's embargoed till I start speaking, which is a bit difficult because then I have to tweet while I start speaking. So
She's speaking.
okay, now I'm speaking, so I'll tweet it.
Okay. Welcome back to the Commission's press room. It's Wednesday, 10th February, and we're here with Executive Vice President Vestager for a press conference on an antitrust case. Executive Vice President, the floor is yours. Thanks.
Well, thank you very much. Today, the Commission has decided to accept commitments. They are offered by Aspen to reduce prices of 6 critical cancer medicines. Aspen committed to reduce prices on average of 73% across Europe, and also committed to continue supplying these medicines in all countries where they are currently supplied and sold. These commitments, they remove entirely the Commission's concerns of excessive pricing in breach of EU competition rules. This will make Aspen cancer medicines immediately more affordable, saving European health system all over Europe, and obviously, of course, also making medicines available for the patients who need it. These Aspen medicines, they treat serious and rare forms of blood cancers, as some types of leukemia and myeloma. Actually, they date back to the 50s, and they have been off patent for decades. So the thing is that even though they're old, they are still used by thousands of patients across Europe. Aspen's cancer drugs, they are life-prolonging, some are life-saving, and for vulnerable patients, such as children or elderly patients, well, they are particularly dependent on these medicines for their treatment. Aspen acquired these cancer medicines in 2009. From 2012 onwards, it progressively started to increase their prices sharply across Europe. Aspen was able to achieve price increases of several hundred% because patients and national health authorities, well, often they had no alternatives to Aspen's medicines. When some national authorities tried to resist Aspen's request for steep price increases, Aspen went as far as to threaten to withdraw the medicines from the national list of reimbursable drugs. In some cases, it gave clear instructions to its negotiating teams that price increases should be accepted or there would be no supplies at all. The Commission investigation revealed serious concerns that Aspen has been abusing its dominant market position by charging excessive prices for cancer medicines since 2012. And what we did was that we analyzed in detail Aspen's costs and prices based on its corporate accounts. Our analysis revealed that following price increases, Aspen's average profit across Europe were 3 times higher than the average profitability of other comparable companies. Aspen's prices, they exceeded the cost of producing and selling the medicines by almost 300% on average, even after accounting for a reasonable rate of return. Of course, there can be good reasons for companies to earn high profit margins. For example, to recoup significant investment into innovation. But in the case of Aspen, there was no commercial risk-taking activity. There was no investment in innovation because these medicines has been off patents for many, many years. Aspen did not improve the medicines in any meaningful manner, nor in the distribution of the medicines. So there was no legitimate reason justifying Aspen's price and profit levels. Our preliminary assessment therefore found that Aspen's behavior was likely to breach EU competition rules. To address the Commission's concerns of excessive prices, Aspen offered a broad range of commitments. First, Aspen will be obliged to reduce its prices, its net prices, by 73% on average in the European Economic Area. To put the 73% reduction into perspective, on average, Aspen will reduce its prices below the price level of 2012, so before it first started the increase in prices. The reduced prices, they work as a fixed price ceiling. And that means for every medicine in every country, Aspen cannot charge prices above that ceiling. But, of course, it is free to charge even lower prices. The price reductions are also applicable as from October 2019, when Aspen first made its commitment proposal. Second, Aspen will have to continue supplying the medicines in all countries where they are currently sold, and that for a guaranteed period of 5 years. For an additional 5-year period, Aspen commits to either supply the medicine or, if it plans to discontinue them, to make sure that its marketing authorization is available to other suppliers. The commitments, they will be in place for a duration of 10 years. And during those 10 years, an independent trustee and the Commission will monitor that Aspen complies with its obligations. Finally, the commitments cover all 6 medicines in all countries of the European Economic Area where the medicines are currently sold. The only member state that is not included in the decision is Italy, because a separate decision covering Italy was already taken by the Italian Competition Authority. The commitments made binding today, they will provide a significant and immediate and a long-lasting price decrease for all medicines in all countries covered by our preliminary investigation. And they will ensure the continued supply of the medicine covered by the decision as well. Before adopting today's decision, the Commission received a lot of really valuable inputs on Aspen's commitments from many stakeholders. These included, in particular, national pricing and reimbursement authorities, ministries of health, health insurers, as well as patients, and of course, consumer associations. Their contributions were extremely valuable to make sure that Aspen's commitments work in practice in each of the 27 very different health systems across Europe. This cooperation ensured that the commitments, they would be implemented fast, effectively, and for the long term. Before closing, I would like to underline the significance of the Aspen decision, as it's the Commission's first excessive pricing decision in the pharmaceutical sector. The decision provides clear guidance on the circumstances in which prices are excessive. The thing is that it doesn't really matter whether the starting price is high or low. What is decisive is whether profits are excessive and whether there are any legitimate reason for them. High prices are not necessarily excessive, and low prices can be excessive. Having said that, as a competition authority, it is not our role to be a price regulator. In markets that work as markets should normally work, well, then market forces, they will correct excessive price levels. But where companies face no competition and exploits the lack of alternatives, well, then it is our role as European competition authorities to intervene. Today's Aspen decision is a concrete contribution to making essential medicines both more affordable and more accessible. Competition enforcement is necessary to keep companies at check and to put an end to anti-competitive behavior that deprive patients of medicines and European health systems from affordable prices for essential medicines. So, of course, we see our competition enforcement as a complement to the Commission's pharmaceutical strategy. It also contributes to the Commission's actions in the Europe Beating Cancer Plan. Today's decision will immediately lead to specific cancer medicines being available at prices that are no longer excessive and ensure security of supply for a significant period of time. And more guidance is also clear. The very plain and simple, excessive prices for medicines will not be tolerated. Along with recent decisions into the Teva and Cephalon for delaying generic entry, today's Aspen decisions, I think it also shows our commitment to ensure that EU competition rules, they are fully respected also in the pharmaceutical sector. Thank you very much.